Helm, set a course for the Streisand effect. Warp 8. Engage in 60 seconds.
This is the W2 Report with Sanji Homura. Here's Sanji.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another exciting episode of the W2 Report. I am your host, Sanji Homura. I'm joined today, as always, by Lord Crocker Squirrel, who will go over the ground rules.
Rule number 1, don't be a dick. Rule number 2, if in doubt, please refer to rule number 1. And you know what I mean by dick.
Yes, we do.
Don't go bugging people.
This is not technically our job.
Not even ostensibly our job.
So let's start with a little story. A Kickstarter with a humble $26,000 goal. As we wait for our third man in the ring today, has gotten a little, shall we say, naughty business.
He's all spicy as shit. That's what it is.
Well, they got into a little bit of naughty business in the last, 72 hours or so. And what started off as a one-off video turned into this mess with allegations of corporate espionage. Well, we'll let the evidence speak for itself, but and as we settle in with popcorn, of course we do. Of course we have to.
Because popcorn rules.
So, as we settle in with sides of corporate espionage, a dash of defamation, and
I hear
corporate
espionage tastes like mashed potatoes. You know, the powder shit from KFC.
Of course it does.
Whereas defamation is just biscuits.
Biscuits and gravy.
No. They take a pass on the gravy. We need something else to go with it. The gravy is something else entirely.
Well, okay. Well, how about a DMCA strike as the main course?
We got some nice. That means we got some nice fried chicken and burgers.
Oh yeah.
All right. Where did I put it?
So let's start today with just the facts. I would like to introduce you to Magic to Master, a free-to-play MMORPG that's asking for a humble $26,000 and raised so far as of this live stream, $7,500 from 30 backers. You might think, well, there's nothing out of the ordinary about this.
Except, of course, that they're asking for way too little money.
For an MMORPG.
Yes. MMOs are horrifyingly expensive from start to finish.
Well, like Callum before me, let's read through this fine masterpiece of a Kickstarter. Oh, look. It's branded by Idea Fabric and Hero Engine right off the top.
Well, Hero Engine's its own batch of problems, but they're not doing anything stupid, silly, or illegal.
No. But if we browse through this, I mean, this is a fine Kickstarter so far. So far, so good. So far, so good. Yeah, it explains a lot about the game.
Which is good. We
good.
encourage Kickstarters to do this.
Which is good until you get to right about here. What are the donations for? At Laniatus, our mission is to bring Magic to Master to life, and we need your help to achieve it. Your contributions will directly support our talented team, including game designers, engineers, IT specialists, and other professionals. We will invest in server architecture and ensuring smooth gameplay for all players. Upgrading our platform support will enable us to reach a wider audience, including mobile gamers. Mobile and MMOs do not mix.
Oh, ask Squeenix. Yes, they do. I mean, have you seen Squeenix's portfolio in recent seconds?
No.
And you should probably be aware that most of their MMOs, things that actually want to be MMOs and really aren't. They're all guilty of that shit. And they're putting it on mobile devices rather than putting their gotcha games, their gotcha MMOs on like proper computers or Mac and Slap, whichever you prefer.
Well, we will invest. Okay, let's continue. Advertising and promotion are crucial for a successful launch, and your support will help us make Magic to Master a household name. New art assets. Yeah. New art assets are essential, and we aim to update and adapt them for our game engine. Bandwidth, proxy, and CDN services will ensure a seamless gaming experience. Lastly, an intelligent digital tracking system will optimize server monitoring. Your support will help us create the best possible game and bring the world of Magic to Master to players everywhere. Thank you for your contribution. Now, if you really don't know what the problem is with this, well, let's continue down here to budget breakdown. Their math is a little off. They're saying that Kickstarter will take $1,311 for a total of a flat 5% fee. Their processing fees is the same. They're claiming Colorado taxes, which is $1,214 for income taxes. Back-end development will cost a measly $3,195.40, which is 12.2% of all funding. Bandwidth and download costs will cost $4,463.40, which is 16.4%. Advertising and PR costs, $5,011. We plan to allocate 18.4% of all the funds to advertising. And server costs is 26.1% or $9,713.40. What is wrong with that?
The breakdown is mighty tiny.
Not only that, but the percentages are completely wrong.
Oh, of course. I didn't do the math, so you'll have to forgive me. You did the math, and I figured that was probably good enough.
Well, the math equated to 87% of all the Kickstarter funds.
Actually, that's not unusual, funnily enough.
If we added up all the percentages.
Because you got to remember that Kickstarter takes money for fees.
Well, they allocated for that.
And Kickstarter takes more than 5% too. That's the number that got me.
Mm-hmm.
But again, 13% of 20K, 20-ish thousand, 22,000 and change. Yeah, no, they have a. That wouldn't be enough to make any difference. Wouldn't be enough to make a lot of difference in almost any direction.
Right. Well, let's take a look at the pledge levels and awards, shall we?
Yes, I think that might be fun.
Thank you. You'll receive a credit if you pledge $5 or more.
A credit.
Yeah. You will get a backers only Discord channel and a supporter Discord role if you pledge $10 or more. That's on top of the credit.
Of course it is.
You will get a Steam early access code.
Ooh.
A digital wallpaper.
Okay.
A traveler Discord role. And all previous awards for $25. Now
Okay.
I'm going to stop here. Because there's going to be a little problem moving forward. Can you name that problem?
Enlighten Evil Grayson over there.
Okay. The problem is that you cannot have an early access period on Steam that is closed. In other words, you cannot release a game on Steam early access and restrict sales to Kickstarter awards members.
Well, that's why they get a key. That's why they get a key with advanced access.
Yes.
However, be up and running right now, and able to move, and they ship you out a Steam key, and then they give you your shit, and then you can go access the game a few days earlier than all the rest of these fuckers.
However, there's a problem. Let's scroll down to the $50 pledges.
Oh, we have more fun shit.
Yeah, we have more fun shit. We have alpha game access at $50 or more.
Which is still something they can do via Steam. Yes.
Yes,
they can in fact do that via Steam. This is not a problem. Or they can do it on a smartphone or what the fuck ever. Although, really, I think they should be picking one.
Yes, that's the problem I was having. Pick one, not both. Although Steam Early Access Game Access is probably more attractive to say, but when you have a game that's free, going to be free anyway, why are you pledging money to this to these people?
Because there are ways. Honestly, I've seen this is a thing I've actually seen before for free to play games. They build up a Kickstarter. They promise these things, and then they deliver on these things as it is possible. This is actually something that happens fairly frequently, but especially in a game where shit's going to be competitive. They'll do that so that you have that couple of days to get ahead.
True. Well, there's more.
Fixing to say, Raid Shadow Legends did that.
$100 or more will get you Battleground DLC access. They are selling DLC for a game that doesn't exist yet and hasn't been released yet.
Not out yet. There's actually not out and not existing. But we'll get to that in a minute. Because the game, in fact, does exist. At least according to them.
Right.
So, all in good time, Mr. Himura. All in good time.
Yes. Yes. Though your patience will be rewarded.
You making silly claims will not be. Especially since you and I both know that one claim there was wrong.
Mm.
There's a reason you might not want me. You might not want me while you're live because, well, yeah, you're going to get called.
I would rather be called out now than after the fact.
Well, this is one you could have avoided.
True. Okay. $120 will get you the digital soundtrack.
That's a thing I don't. Honestly, I'm not a big fan of soundtracks. Some people absolutely insist on them. I just don't. It's a kind of a thing for me. It seems like you can listen to the soundtrack as you play the game.
All right.
And if you really want to just hear the music, you can shut off the. There's other things that you can shut down, like I don't know, the sound effects and voice. Most games have that ability. But if anybody that watches my channel anyway knows I've been scared completely out of leaving that shit on.
Right. $150 will get you
a broken fuse.
True. A special in-game cosmetic effect for backers.
Ooh. That's so spiffy, I forgot to laugh. Okay.
And you get 2 copies of the game, basically.
Ew. Again, so spiffy, I forgot to laugh.
$250 will get you a custom NPC that will be featured in the game.
Okay.
$300 will get you a name. Okay, I'm going to read this for verbatim. Give a name to weapon or of armor. Your name inscribed on a in-game monument.
Oh, I remember Drink World.
Your name inscribed on a subscription and access to the game's newsletter.
That should wind up being on their website. That's a website problem.
Opening of the 4th and 5th inventory slots in the game.
Okay. Now we're getting weird.
Worldwide, all regions, access to the in-game auction house.
Ahaha. Yeah, okay. That's for the ones that want to. That's for the ones that like the idea of making fake currency. Sigh. They don't have anything better to do, because that's something I would have put in an earlier tier. Except maybe not worldwide.
$500 or more will get you the right to start the game in the Ron Dynasty. It's spelled R-A-H-U-N. Okay.
So, what the fuck is a Ron Dynasty, and why do I give a shit?
Don't know. Don't care.
Uh-huh.
Right to be listed as a design consultant on Discord.
Bullshit. You are not a design consultant. You will never be a design consultant. You just want people. You just get the opportunity for bragging rights.
Custom canvas signed concept art of your event, boss, or clan.
Do we get to make a boss?
No.
In which case, that's just that's a bag of shit.
Well, 2 people paid $500 for it.
Well, okay.
700
silly in my opinion, but it's their money. They're not giving it back.
Yeah. $750 will get you the right to use special symbols in your in-game nickname.
Right.
Your name and message will appear somewhere in the game.
Somewhere. Let me guess. Over near the end game content, because
In-game Baron or Baroness title.
At $1,000, you should be making me Queen of Scots.
That's $750.
Okay, $750. I should, again. That's a lot of freaking money. I know some people have that kind of money to just burn on a daily basis, but
right.
The average fucker does not. That's why they would be drawn to a free-to-play game.
$1,000. You get 4 copies of the game.
And why do I need 4 copies?
I don't know. Name the family town of a dynasty.
No, because you're going to wind up with Bodie McBoatface for a town. Has anybody pledged at that level?
Nope.
That means that no troll. All that really means is there is no troll sufficiently dedicated. Come on, guys, get with the program. You got to do the thing.
Townie McDownface, great name. Yeah.
There you go. The sad part of it is it would probably happen.
Mm.
See, this is just opportunity to fuck up our lore.
Yeah.
I'm going to name. I'm going to name the. I'm going to name it. I'll name it Shibuya, just to piss everybody, just to piss on some people's chips.
Well,
then if I get it a chance at a second attempt, to name it Moscow, and that will annoy everybody else. Why? Because they'll let me.
Well, YouTuber Callum Upton did I named this town Bob.
I named this town Bob. Oh, no, I wouldn't name it Moscow. I'd actually name it Moskva, which is the Russian word for the name of that city. That way, my intent is absolutely perfect. Anybody with a brain in their head will know exactly what I was going for, and I will have trolled them. I will have been very efficient in my trolling.
Well, Callum Upton read through the Kickstarter just the same as we just did. We spent a good long time doing it, but he received a little present while he was on holiday this past weekend, and that is a DMCA strike
for copyleft.
For copyleft, exactly. And this is the fluff piece that was written to defend the copyright strike.
Well, considering that they're actually, yeah, we'll get to that bit in a minute. I'm gonna not say anything for a little bit
because he allegedly made some serious accusations against Laniatus, which is the developers of Magic to Master.
Which is not, in fact, copyright problems. That's defamation.
Well, I happen to have the original video. He made no such claims.
Ooh, spiffy.
Somebody was smart enough to archive it 30 minutes after the premiere. And that's mainly because somebody was smart enough to, well, it's Callum Upton, and you know how he is. And Laniatus is claiming justice was served on this whole matter. No, you do not claim copyright for something that is founded on defamation. Digital Homicide tried that with Jim Sterling, and look where it got them.
That got them into a lawsuit, which was all sorts of hilarity. Followed immediately thereafter, or nearly immediately thereafter, by them trying to sue Valve, Valve/Steam, to comply with a subpoena that they were never actually sent, for the real names of a bunch of people, and a definition of competition, of unfair competition, and with competition specifically meaning pretty much anybody that's ever known that electronics exist. So there's like 3 people in a lost village in deepest Siberia that would be immune, and maybe two more people in Africa.
Now, there's 2 dates that I want you to mention here. One is this date right here, June 30th, 2023.
That's the end of the month and the day after the Kickstarter expires.
Right, which is when
and
the
they
game.
They're going to do it either way.
Yeah, success or failure, they're gonna release the game anyway on the Steam. The second date I want to mention is this one right here, June 8th, 2023. Now, there's a funny story behind this particular date. The day after Callum Upton's video premiered, the developers, Laniatus, sent Callum an email saying, "You better take this down, and we're going to give you 48 hours to do so." That's extortion.
No, it's not.
Well,
that is a request for someone to do a thing. When you're talking about legal shit, it's harder to prove extortion on that level,
right?
Because lawyers, as a rule, generally tend to be vile and nasty in their correspondence when they're trying to deal with somebody they think they've got dead to rights. Will stop doing this shit.
Right.
That being said, I like the way people throw around the word extortion. Either way, what they're really doing here is making the threat for the DMCA, which is fine. They're allowed to do that, but they can't file copyright for defamation. There's a very large difference between those two things.
Right.
So horrifyingly large, in fact, that there's almost no connection to either between the two. That's an entirely different field of law. They're both torts, and that's it.
Well, they gave him 48 hours from the day after the video premiered. The video premiered on the 6th. They sent him the email on the 7th. They gave him 48 hours to remove the video.
They were kind of stupid.
And I got into the site code by using developer tools. And look, if I inspect the source of the code from June 8th, 2023, it was sent on the 9th of June, 2023 at a little before 1 in the morning UTC. Now, what seems to be the problem with that particular code as far as the 48 hours is concerned?
Consider it was about an hour? Wasn't that an hour or so, either right before or right after the strike was filed?
It was. This was posted. This whole thing was posted an hour after the strike was filed.
Rude.
And nobody, and I do mean nobody, noticed the video was gone until after 5 hours had elapsed. Nobody noticed it until the next morning, basically in British time. the strike was filed in such a way that nobody noticed the strike was actually filed until the next morning.
The 5 hours would have made it about 6 a.m.
Right.
for Callum.
For Callum, yeah.
So while he was all snuggled up cozy with the wife or girlfriend or whatever, his video had been gone and his channel had its lovely strike. What happened to 48 hours, Dick Breath?
Well, the email wasn't even acknowledged to have been received. It went straight to his spam folder.
Oh, that's. Oh wow. Okay.
It was written in such a way that it went straight to his spam folder.
All those misspellings bit these guys in the butt. Yep. Okay. I'm good with that.
Now, so naturally, when copyright strikes happen, we tend to look into the history of the developer.
Who will get his very own review eventually.
Oh, yes. But this developer happened to have started back in 2009 in Hungary. The company went completely under the radar for a while until 2017, when the company allegedly went bankrupt.
I love that allegedly.
Well, it went under liquidation, and I was able to verify that it did go under liquidation in 2017.
Okay.
Now, what happened in 2019, however, is that somebody representing Laniatus decides to sell the source code to Magic to Master. Complete source code. The client files, the databases, the Hero Engine client, the whole 9 yards. And it was successfully sold to a company called OWO Company.
Oh, almost like Uwu. Just one bell off.
Yeah. Except the problem with this is that this version of Magic to Master still exists today. This is the website.
They even have a forum that's been posted to in the last 10 days.
Yeah. But in 2020, the alleged founder of Laniatus came out with this LinkedIn post. We have an international MMORPG project. It is ready to be published. In 2016, our company went bankrupt for financial reasons and we had to stop the project. According to 2015 statistics, the project was making $750,000 or more per year. Now keep that $750,000 in mind. We'll circle back to it. We want to start the project again, but we'll need a small investment. we intend to give 30%. Those interested can reach me. The value of the project is now we are planning to give a third of the $300,000 project as shares. In other words, someone who invests $100,000 will have a third of the profit margin. NDA, ordinary partnership, terms of use, etc. All contracts ready, sealed, and signed as required by the business plan, job offer, 1-year cash flow, and project scope. The support we expect for this project, $120,000 only. Investment for the project, 3 million euros. Okay.
That math doesn't work.
That math does not work at all. The only thing that makes sense is two numbers. $750,000 and $300,000. That's the only way that the $3 million number can make sense.
But then the individual investors are splitting 30% of the profit. And actually, that's not the profit. They get a 30% share of the company.
Right.
Split up amongst a lot of them.
Right. Now, Squirrel, let me circle back to the Kickstarter a bit. Are you familiar with the concept of token offers?
Yes.
How much can you okay, I'm trying to phrase my question carefully. How much can you expect a token offer for 3 million euros to be in a reasonable sense?
In a reasonable sense?
Yeah. Let's say that I'm selling a company for 3 million euros and you want to make an offer of intent.
10%-ish.
Okay.
So about 300K.
Well, I would like to introduce you now, and we will run over, folks, to a game called Repopulation. This is from the subreddit Hobby Draba. The TLDR of this long explanation, which we will link to you in the description, is indie MMO gets crowdfunded and has a relatively smooth development. That is until its own game engine publisher / server has financial problems and tries to force the indie developers to pay into paying their bills. The developers refuse, and the server host takes down the indie developer's game. The developers then run into financial problems of their own as they cannot sell the game and are finally bought out by the same game engine publisher server host who tried to strong arm the indie developers.
I've actually seen shit like that get pulled. It's a website called Renderosity. They fucking locked the doors on them and on the original owner, and then the fuckery started. But that was a lot of years ago. And by their server host. In fact, it was the same sort of deal.
Well, this is Above and Beyond Technologies, the repopulation as it sits in the Internet Archive as of 2016. Well, as we pour one out for Above and Beyond Technologies, because they're the innocent ones out of all this.
Actually, it's more like they were the ones that got the most fucked.
Right. And they were the victims of confidentiality clauses being broken. Because that did happen multiple times. And $1.7 million was effectively stolen from them. Only to be turned around and being used to buy their IP. Now, I would like to introduce you to a company called Idea Fabric.
Idea Fabric.
Idea Fabric
like
is
a bunch of Frenchy bastards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Idea Fabric is the company behind Hero Engine, which according to Wikipedia was only used in one video game. Can you guess what it was?
Well, you've already given them the answer. You might as well just not bother asking the question.
Well, it ain't. Well, it isn't Magic to Master. That much is damn sure. There is a game out there today that uses Hero Engine.
I wouldn't. I've seen.
I wouldn't.
I went in last night and looked at their fucking terms. Not acceptable.
Right.
Not even funny.
Right. But I will say this. Idea Fabric acquires the repopulation in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
They turn it over to a company called TGS in 2017. And TGS basically was working on Hero Engine, getting it stable.
Mm-hmm.
Then they found out this idiot was trying to buy out Idea Fabric.
Ooh. Let's buy something that's already dead. Especially if you've only got one game using the engine. It's not like you're going to make a shit ton of money. And from what I've been told about Hero Engine, it doesn't really work all that well anyway.
Especially on modern machines.
Oh.
Especially
how old
since
is this engine?
2009.
Okay. So you have a game engine that that's at least 5-7 years obsolete. More like 5. With the same sort of provenance that we get from the creation engine that Bethesda likes to use.
Right. Now, remember when I said
provenance is absolutely the wrong word to use for that.
At least the creation engine is respected.
The creation engine needs to be replaced. It's utterly out of date. But they keep using it because, yeah, it's there. They need a new engine for those games, and they need to figure out a way. And they need to figure out a way to make that happen. People are already working on mod for Starfield because they've got a really good idea of how that's going to work. All they need to know is what shit is named.
Yeah. So,
and get the models.
Yeah. Remember when I said I would circle back to the 3 million euros bit? Well, 3 years ago when this LinkedIn post was happening, Idea Fabric was $3 million and 3 million euros in the hole. Now, you wouldn't try to buy out a company that's 3 million euros in the hole with a measly Kickstarter that is, I don't know, $26,000.
Actually, it's the actual number attached to the Kickstarter, which is specific down to the cent, apparently.
Right. Which is a scary thought, considering the fact that, I don't know. They want to possess. Laniatus wants to possess the hero engine for themselves. For what reason, I don't know. But I know for a fact that TGS found out about it and told Idea Fabric to fuck right off. Because they were the ones who weren't. They were like, we ain't gonna go along with this selling of the engine. Not after what we worked on it. So, allow me to express an opinion on something. Now, keep in mind, this is an opinion, not necessarily a statement of fact.
Although it could be factual, it's an opinion at this point.
Right.
Which Sanji just said, which Sanji is talking about now, because I'm going to call him out if he does. He knows that. See, folks, I told you. He can be taught.
Okay. This token offer of $26,000 is something that is meant to stave off bankruptcy for Idea Fabric. This $26,000 is supposed to be something that is only to buy time. Long enough to get the hero engine out of Idea Fabric's hands and into Laniatus' hands. And once that takes place, Idea Fabric can fuck right off. At least that's the initial plan. But you know Callum Upton can go, you know how Callum Upton is. He can walk through a landmine, wave, step on a landmine, step on a mine, and smile. Which is what he did here. So, I think that's about all the information I have on this.
Yeah, we're not that far over. Actually, we're not over at all.
Well, if more information turns up, we will do a Redux episode. Because
we will actually do the part 2 on we will do the part 2 on my channel though. Whichever channel that happens to be. I've got 2 now. Everybody go subscribe. Go look for Lord Carpet Swirl on YouTube. There's only one left.
Yeah, and until the next time we see you, beware the taxman cometh.
folks. This is Morgan Freeman. This concludes our broadcast day. I'm Morgan Freeman.